to manage their money accordingly, to make the decisions that they would make and to make sacrifice. If people don't want to make sacrifice, I understand that. But a cut is individual to the family and the people, and people will have to do what they think is in their best interest. And we trust people to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. When things, yeah, okay?
You're sure it's so hard. One last point, and I'm going to hang up and let you respond to this question.
Yeah. Mm.
Could you give us an update on this gasoline excise taxes?
Absolutely. Okay. Let me respond to that. Yeah, thank you. The gasoline excise tax is at a point now where there are three things happening with it. The study that WAPA did for the grid system is out, and that is part of a component for us to get the gasoline excise tax to pay for that. Right now, I'm scheduled to travel to Halifax, Canada, the first week in August, to get the council of state governments, all the state governments and their representatives, to adopt the resolutions that myself and Senator Nelson put forth. Once it's adopted, we're going back to the Department of Interior. Because when I met with the Department of Interior in February, the Undersecretary, in no uncertain terms, told us that if we want to get the gasoline excise tax rebated to help us with energy, we need to get support across the board from the states, because the gasoline excise tax is paid by the states. It's not we don't pay it. All the states pay it. So now if we got to this council of state governments and the states sort of adopt our resolution, the states are saying, yes, we agree that the tax we pay from gasoline coming from Hovenza, a portion of it should go back to the Virgin Islands because they're having difficulty. With that mandate, I could then move to the Department of Interior and say, no, we got the states agreeing. This administration should support it because the states now agree that the tax they collect could come back portion to the Virgin Islands. And that's where we are. I'm going up to get this resolution. Once it's done, I then approached the administration to the Department of Interior, and we met with the Department of Interior, Department of Transportation, and the Senate Chair of Energy when I went up. I had with me Donna Christensen's representative, Makida Okolo, and we gathered the information, and following the dictate that they told us, we are now gathering the support from all of the states. And what I'm going to do after that, of course, is approach the administration, Department of Transportation, which uses the gasoline excise tax to do roads and to do other things, is to get a portion carved out to come back to help pay for the grid system and to help pay for fossil fuel until we could come off of fossil fuel, which is a 5-year plan, and I'm going to present it. And I think once we get a council of state governments behind of us, we have a good platform to now get the excise tax portion back. So that's where we are, okay? I hope I make it clear enough. Okay, good. Good morning.
Morning, Ronnie.
Yes, talk to me.
Ronnie?
I hear from you in a long time, man.
Is this the unicameral legislature president?
You are so right.
That's the man. Listen, I happened to hear a little piece of the budget yesterday with agriculture.
You like it?
Yes, and I want you all to pay close attention to what you have heard.
Yes.
And try our best to see how best we could put agriculture on its footing.
Right, and you know, that you said that I discussed the need for supporting agriculture at a discussion in Rotary, and it was totally twisted. And let me say I have a bill right now to increase the incentives to persons who want to get in agriculture and the marine and fishing industry. So the bill, it was appropriate what was said yesterday, and now Yoka, tell me how you want to express to the public how we could increase it?
I want you to include in that bill
Yes.
an incentive for backyard gardening.
But listen, hey, man, you must be reading my mind.
You have it in there?
I have a provision
Okay.
to add to that, because let me explain to you how the Japanese and how some other cultures have given that type of incentive. But you tell me yours.
No, well, no, I don't tell you. I don't tell you.
Well, listen to what I want. What I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could prove that you have a garden in your house, whatever it is, I want you to be able to get some relief on your property tax. It might be minor. If you using your property that you paying tax on, you to follow me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So suppose you live, let's say you live in Calcahoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you now have a garden in Calcahoon, and your property tax is $500. I want, as long as you prove you're using a portion of your property for home gardening, for you to get a piece of action off of your property tax.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
That's how I see it. Now,
What I want you was to do
tell me.
is to have agriculture come up with the depot.
Ah.
Yeah, you see, when you got a man with backyard gardening,
Yeah.
and he gonna got maybe 3 avocado, 3 bearing avocados,
Sure.
breadfruit, 3 bearing breadfruit, and many things.
Right.
You would want to get an outlet. You don't mind if you sell it or drop it off wholesale. But you want that when people want to go, rather than those people are underneath the tree in that hot sun all day trying to make $1 and all them kind of things and what's not, and then they have to buy some inferior stuff and then they don't get it sold, they lose money. We would like to see where people with their food, their fruit and everything
Carla.
go to that market.
Right. And have a market in agriculture to deal with it.
Yes,
And then to get it sold.
that's correct, sir.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
No.
So you're talking about any type of product. It could talk honey.
Yes,
You could talk about anything you decide to grow.
yes.
And you want agriculture to have a market so that people could make a little money off of that, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, very well said. Good, good.
Correct. No. August 2nd is just around the corner. And we all know what is about to happen as it relates to Congress.
Right.
Are you making any preparation just in case that this thing really come to fatality where August 2nd pass and the government begin to go bankrupt, the United States? Are we making any preparation for us down here?
I'll tell you part of what I have been considering,
Yes.
because I almost say our status should the United States have difficulty, should allow us to approach the UN or an international entity, should our benefactor and owner can't take care of it. It's almost like we need a Queen Louise home.
I want that. Let me tell you what California is about to be doing right now.
And I don't mind doing that if help our people.
Yeah.
I tell you right now.
Let me tell you what California.
And I want to do it for energy. Are you hear me?
Yes.
You hear what I said just now, right?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, and me joking with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me tell you what California is attempting to do right now. They're making preparation for that. And
Tell me what they're doing.
they have approached private, millionaires and billionaires. And they're going to be asking for a loan from them, up to as much as $5 billion.
No, me want a loan. I want grant from the UN.
I just tell you what California is
I know.
trying to do right now.
Yeah, let me say this to you. I thought about it.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Because we in policy, and I don't rule out absolutely the UN helping out this territory with energy and utilizing some of its organizations that could get to people who provide oil to give us oil cheaper. And if they don't want to go directly to people, I could go through the UN. My view is that if the US, as our owner, can live up to taking care of us with certain basic stuff, then they should allow us through the UN to get assistance until they could do it. And they ain't doing it with energy. They're killing us with energy.
Okay, well, I will leave that up to you.
But I just point it out because people got to know that we got to be creative in these positions.
That's correct.
And nobody, sit down.
Right.
Energy killing this territory right now.
Yeah.
And let me say that the UN could get to countries that produce oil, and if we go through them, maybe that people could feel comfortable. Because you can't go directly because why? We don't have no direct relationship.
Right.
But we do have a status in the UN, and we have a way to approach the UN. So I don't think in that way. But I ain't jumping no gun. I support the Democratic administration that's currently running, and I stance Obama supporter. But then, if things start to crash up there, me following that. Are you looking for our people?
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Glad to know. Quick one for you.
Yes.
What is what you would call non-commercial radio station?
I like that one, you know.
Come. Walk with me.
You get a license. They get licenses, and they get a license to make money certain ways. And the license in it, when you speak to the proprietor, you could know the type of license they have. But there is a clouded group of stations in the Virgin Islands that's supposed to be non-profit, but I'm sure they're doing some commercial stuff. And then you have straight commercial radio stations, okay? And
non-commercial are there.
There's some non-commercial ones too.
Okay.
And like for example, WGOD, for example.
Yeah.
They have a license.
Non-profit.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but
so,
non-commercial.
Right.
Non-commercial I would say like WTJF.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so we got it. I have an understanding of it because I've dealt with the FCC for a long period of time. But let me just say to you that whatever we get, and I hope we do soon, it is going to be educational, and it's going to be promoting